For the next assignment, we kind of extended the previous one where we were doing the simulator. Here we added the loader functionality. So I guess to separate the two, the first one was just given some initial machine which was properly set up, I would be able to then properly run x86 that I was given. Here, we actually do the setting up of the machine so that you can just supply the x86 program and you can then immediately start simulating. So again, we'll start with the types. Essentially, the goal here was to just create an executable. So we have our entry point to the program. We have the beginning of the text segment, the beginning of the data segment. The difference here is the text segment, as you may be aware, is kind of where the instructions are housed, where your x86 is going to be stored in the executable, in the like the machine's state. And then here, data is where you're going to have your kind of global variables and such. And then these two guys are just I guess the simulation of each of these segments. So much like memory was just an S-byte list, here we have kind of disjoint memory where each represents either the text segment or the data segment. And essentially, our responsibility was just to properly set things up. So we were resolving labels, and we were kind of translating the x86 program into an initial machine state, meaning that we would load all of the instructions. We wouldn't actually perform them. That's the responsibility of the previous part up above. It was to kind of parse through the x86 file and translate that into some sort of data structure that then our simulator that we did previously can actually understand and interpret and run properly. Yeah, again, super cool how it's built off of the initial one, and it gets you a real intimate it gives you a real intimate understanding of this, like what the machine's really doing, what you're really doing when, I mean, not that most of us are writing assembly, but eventually whatever language that you write is going to be compiled down, well, more than likely depending on the language, into x86, and then that's what's run from then on out. In the next assignment, we're going to make a proper compiler from LLVM to x86. So we're kind of slowly building up the whole stack. So now you'd be able to write in a higher level language, representation, I suppose. LLVM isn't really a language. It's an intermediate representation. So we're slowly building up so that we can get away from this assembly, which is difficult to kind of interpret as a person writing it or a person reading it, and actually still be able to simulate the programs that's going on.